million from the top of my mind, memory. Search records on a public website before taking them down. Twitter, of course, was hacked last year, very famously. These are well-respected, well-run companies. This happens to every company around the day once in a while. But the idea is that consumers are worried, and the reaction so far is panic. Reaction 2 is focus exclusively on behavioral targeting. So this is important. There's a lot of discussion around behavioral targeting by many conscientious and excellent people, and there should be focus on behavioral targeting. Of course, just to recap, behavioral targeting is the process and practice of advertising to people based on what we know about them from their behavior online. The promise of the internet is the bonanza of finally being able to do one-to-one marketing, meaning we're not just reaching the NFL crowd, we're reaching you and your particular taste in the Ravens and your particular taste in a certain kind of jersey that you wear when you're at the Ravens games, right? It's a very magical and awesome kind of marketing. My company does it. Many of us do it. It's something that we all believe in. But some consumers are worried about it, and some privacy groups are very, very focused on behavioral targeting as the only topic in privacy. There's been a terrific effort by some companies in conjunction also with some regulatory agency to provide this symbol, which is very exciting. This is a non-partisan, bipartisan group. But it's a very good idea. There's a great market-based solution, the idea that we can actually protect and indicate to consumers that this is an ad that we're serving up to you that is based partly on behavioral targeting. I don't know that the focus on behavioral targeting exclusively is well placed, though. Reaction 3, give up. So a lot of us say, well, you know, it's out in the world, and you can't put the toothpaste in the tube, but it's over, and the gas is now volatile, and there's atmosphere. And I mean, it's like you just got to throw up your hands and say, well, once it's out there, it's out there. Scott McNeely very famously a few years ago said, privacy is dead, get used to it. And then Mark Zuckerberg said, you know, privacy is dead, get used to it, basically. He then clarified later. I'm not sure either of these guys really means it. They're not signing up for having cameras in their houses, for example. But still, there's a kind of despair and a worry that we just have to give up. Reaction 4 is blame the consumers. Aren't they just opting in? And very famously, Eric Schmidt said recently, if there's something about internet worry, if there's something you don't want people to know about you, maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Google's motto is first do no harm. And that implies, of course, that the consumers themselves are doing the harm, that we are somehow to blame ourselves because we're opting in and behaving in certain ways. And we end up asking ourselves, after we see those reactions, do Americans really actually feel committed to privacy, or is this something that they're willing to give up on? Are the social mores just changing so fast that they're just going to be different one day now or in 5 years or in 20 years? Do Americans really care about privacy? And a number of very, very smart, conscientious people have said in the past, look, Americans are not willing to pay for privacy. They're not willing to care about privacy. When it comes to privacy, it's really just mostly talk and not real action. Actually, I disagree. Americans have indicated that they're interested in privacy. I think it's actually 73% of American households have signed up for the Do Not Call list. Is anyone here not on the Do Not Call list? Is that because you only have a cell phone? No, okay, that's you. And you're not? Okay, anyone else? Okay, good. So is that because you only have a cell phone? Yeah, okay, right. So the under kind of 35 crowd often says, you know, so because I only have a cell phone. Okay, and you?
I didn't want to put my information in a government database.
Awesome, that's great. You are a committed man, sir. Yes?
There's 190 million phone numbers on the Do Not Call list as the latest data.
Great, even better. Thank you so much. So you can't get 73% of Americans to do anything. I mean, it's like drink Coca-Cola and pay taxes and sign up for the Do Not Call list. So clearly, okay, it's free. It's run by the government, which we can trust or not trust. And it's easy to do, but clearly Americans have expressed interest in privacy that way. And this one is amazing. 80% of Americans have said they're highly concerned about online privacy and ranked privacy as a bigger worry than health care. That's stunning to me. I mean, just stunning. And then Americans often vote when they're asked in favor of certain kinds of questions. They often vote in favor of or express a preference to have companies ask their permission to share their data. Of course, when you put the question to them, they answer that way. American consumers have a growing sense that they are being watched. This is, of course, an image of the panopticon, which was Jeremy Bentham's 1785 image of a new prison in which prisoners could be watched but had no sense that they were being watched at any given time. I think that we can refresh this image as one that Americans feel that they're experiencing now. And American consumers, it seems, actually, they want the privacy and they want some other stuff. When we talk to our consumers, our customers, we hear some things over and over and over again. This is anecdotal, but it's heavily anecdotal. I want it to be easy for me to control my privacy settings on social networks. We know that one. I want it to be easy to remove myself from big databases that have my information, right? We're all in these databases that we all know about, or many of us should know about, that buy and sell our data for marketing purposes, and American consumers want it to be easy for them to remove themselves. They don't mind being in there, some of them, in the first place. They just want to be able to remove themselves. They also want to be able to control what kind of mail they receive. In the same way, they want to be able to control what phone calls they receive and when on the do not call list. And also, I want to have some control, and some people say some total control, over what people can see about me, or see about me first anyway. What people see about me first anyway on search engines and online. Those are the things that they want. Is it possible to actually give it to them? In order to ask that question well, we have to make sure we're asking the right antecedent questions. And we have to make sure that we're not laboring under some of the wrong tacit assumptions. Assumption number one, I think that we hear a lot in the public discourse about this, even among very informed and very educated, very well-intentioned people, is if you live a good life offline, you're going to look good online. This crowd, this audience, may know that that is not entirely true, but many of us in the public don't. And it goes straight to the heart of what Eric Schmidt said. If you don't want someone to know something about you, maybe you should not be doing it anyway. That's not entirely true. Sometimes, of course, it is true. This is a good example of how it is true. Does everyone remember this photo? Okay, so this young man went to, told his boss I think he was an intern at a bank. He said, I need to take some time off for a family emergency, which turned out to be this party. And he posted this to his Facebook page. And then someone at his job sort of said, how is the family emergency? With showing him the photo, and then posted online, and I think he was dismissed. So some people, I think, could be assigned some amount of responsibility for their future. If you live a good life offline, maybe your online life will reflect that. But not all of us. I use this as a humorous counterexample, but the example is also very important. So many of us are being posted about by others. So many of us have, as this panel revealed earlier, comments made about them on our Facebook pages. As the survey indicated, those comments impact our professional opportunities. And also, by the way, so many of us are not even having these comments posted to our own pages. We're just being talked about on someone else's page, or someone is lying about us. Even if we are completely righteous people in our daily lives, we see very, very decent people harmed in this way. Assumption number two, isn't everyone opting in? This one, we just have to kill this one. This question is the wrong question. Opting in is not the right question anymore. We believe that the majority of content about you on the internet is not put there by you. I'll say it again. We believe the majority of content about you on the internet is no longer put there by you. You are not opting in anymore. You have been opted in against your will. So I don't think that the question, are you opting in, it's an American trope, right? We like the idea of freedom, and we embrace it, all of us, of every party, and we believe that we have choice. We elect to participate in a certain kind of thing, and if we elect to do so, we have the benefits and the consequences. It's not true in the case of the internet. In the case of the internet, photos are being posted about you whether you're on the social network or not. Your emails, well, let me actually take you through. Photos are being posted about you on the internet whether you choose to be there or not. Your emails are getting analyzed. So let's say you use Xmail. I'm just making up a server, right? You use Xmail, and the other guys use Ymail. Your email partner uses Ymail. You send your email from Xmail to your friend at Ymail. The Ymail server is analyzing that content about you with all the information for all the purposes it's going to analyze it for, right? Demographic information, psychographic information. behavioral targeting purposes. Now, this is not terribly frightening today. Most of the people